Ever wonder who really shapes the professional conversation in Thailand? The people everyone is listening to? Well, it's not always who you'd expect. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the country's top voices on LinkedIn and break down their winning formula. So, what is their secret sauce? Is it just about having a fancy title or a massive number of followers? Or is there something deeper going on? We're about to deconstruct what makes these top players resonate so powerfully with their audience. And believe me, there's a surprisingly clear pattern. All right, first up, we've got this incredibly powerful theme that just dominates the landscape. A huge piece of the influence on Thai LinkedIn comes from leaders who put people, right at the absolute center of everything they do. We're talking leadership, culture, and real human connection. And boom, right off the bat, you can see it plain as day. 3 of the top 5 influencers fall squarely into this people-first camp. From finding the right talent to transforming a company's culture, it's obvious that content with a human touch is king. So let's meet them. Kicking off our list at number 5 is SM Yip, who's a talent acquisition manager over at Pandora. He is all about building a sense of community. His posts aren't just dry job listings. They're about celebrating his team's wins, showing up for volunteer days, and sharing these really simple, approachable leadership tips in both English and Thai. Moving on up to number 4, we've got Dr. Agapal Nasonkla, a chief people officer. Now, what he does is just brilliant. He connects high-level HR strategy with what's happening on the ground locally. He might talk about employee happiness, but he'll tie it to a cultural moment, like Songkran. That makes his insights feel incredibly real and authentic to professions in Thailand. And hey, the results really speak for themselves. Dr. Agapal has an engagement score of over 81, which is huge. It's just proof that his message, which blends cultural pride with people development, is absolutely hitting the mark. And at number 3, we have Harvey Yap. I love this. He calls himself a leadership architect. His whole focus is on one thing: building empathy in the workplace. He's not afraid to tackle those tough but super important topics like compassionate leadership or how to actually engage with different generations, especially Gen Z. But here's where he really shines. He makes these big, complex ideas totally actionable. He's always breaking down theories into these easy-to-follow, practical tools that any manager can pick up and use to make their team better, like tomorrow. Okay, but influence isn't just coming from inside big companies. The number 2 spot on our list reveals a completely different, but just as powerful theme: the world of startups, entrepreneurship, and pure innovation. Let me introduce you to CK Chong, the CEO of the freelancing platform Fastwork. His content is basically rocket fuel for anyone thinking about starting a business. He's constantly sharing advice on how to grow a startup, get investment, and, this is the big one, he's always inspiring young Thais to dream big and use their ideas to push the whole country forward. So we've seen the people-first leaders and the startup visionary. But the number 1 spot is held by someone who takes a totally different path to influence. They've moved beyond just the office or the startup world to talk to the entire nation. And this is where things get really fascinating. The most influential professional voice in all of Thailand isn't a traditional CEO or an HR guru. No, it's a political leader who has completely changed the game for how this platform is used. That's right, at number 1, it's Pita Limajuranrat, the leader of the Move Forward Party. His position at the very top of a professional networking site is a massive deal, and it tells us something really important about what Thai professionals are looking for from their leaders today. So here's the key takeaway. Pateza uses LinkedIn to talk about policy, economic reform, and major social issues directly with the business community. He's basically turned the platform into a town hall for national dialogue, connecting with a generation of professionals who are hungry for change and deeply invested in their country's future. And his dominance is just undeniable. Check this out. With an influence score of nearly 90, he's in a league of his own, way ahead of the other top voices. It's absolute proof that a mission-driven message focused on policy can have a massive appeal. Okay, so let's recap. We've got a politician, a startup CEO, and 3 leaders focused on people. On the surface, they seem to operate in totally different worlds, right? But underneath it all, they actually share a common DNA for success. Let's break down what that is. It turns out the winning formula isn't really about one specific topic. It all comes down to a simple, consistent approach. You have to regularly share content that gives people real value, whether that's a leadership tip, startup advice, or a policy idea. And then you have to genuinely engage with the community that gathers around that content. And when you actually map it all out, the dominance of one theme is just crystal clear. A whopping 60% of top-tier influence comes from content focused on people and leadership. Now, entrepreneurship and policy are definitely significant, but it's that conversation about humanity in the workplace that truly resonates the most. When you connect all the dots, it really boils down to one simple thing: purpose. Whether the goal is building a better team, a groundbreaking company, or a stronger country, the content that cuts through all the noise is the content that's driven by a clear and compelling mission. And that leaves us with one last question, and this one is for you. These 5 leaders have found their purpose and used it to build incredible influence. So in your own professional life, on your own platforms, what is the purpose that you are going to champion? What's the conversation you want to lead?